What's up, guys? James Miller here, coming at you with another episode of the Saving Seattle series. And this time we take on the New York Yankees in the ALCS for a chance at our first World Series as we take over in real life. So, playoff coverage wise, it looks like we're going to have our ace versus their ace. And then it kind of goes downhill, to say the least. Yeah, honestly, I really wish I could pitch Bryce Miller first because he did phenomenal. I wish we had Woo, but you know what? He's done. So overall this year we have a split perfectly at 3-3. We're they're fourth and fifth in runs scored and runs against. We're third and third. So on paper, I would give us the better chance to take care of business. Yeah, Brian Wu absolutely dominated them in his one and only start against them. Mitch Keller did all right as well. Bryce Miller in two starts against them has done okay. Yikes. And let me see, where is Luis Castillo? I don't think Luis Castillo's pitched against him. So Logan Gilbert's pitched, but no, I don't see Luis Castillo. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the Yankees as a whole. So, New York Yankees, this is something I didn't do and I should have done. Overall, they're the fourth best team in baseball in terms of offense. They do not have good starters, but they do have a great bullpen. Overall, if we can jump on those starters, we'll have a good time. They had a bad June, great July, okay August, okay September. They've been good for an entire year. They're slightly better against right-handed pitching versus left-handed pitching. They do really good in one-run and extra inning games because of that bullpen. At home, they're 50-31. On the road, they're 40-41. So I think, yeah, we have home field advantage. So we should be able to take care of business here. Overall, it's Max Fried, Ben Shields, Luis Heel, Brent Hedrick, and this is making me think playoff roster. 5 days. Do I remove one pitcher to get an extra right-handed batter because of the sheer amount of lefties they have? And I don't think I do, because I don't really have one. Let's go back to look at their team real quick. Overall, they have a really good-ish rotation with Max Fried, Luis Heel, Brent Hedrick, and Ben Shields are two guys that we are going to have to jump on early. They really don't have that good of a bullpen. Like, Fernando Cruz is all right. Caleb Ferguson's all right. Ryan Stanek is okay. Jorge Lopez is okay. Elmer Rodriguez Cruz is okay. Clayton Beater's okay. Michael Arias is okay. They just lost Garrett Cole. They just lost Clark Schmidt, Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, and Martin Perez. They got 5 guys on their bench that should be honestly on the team. Looking at it, though, man, if we had left-handed guys, we'd be in a really good position. But Aaron Judge, Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez are kind of their big guys. Spencer Jones at the top of their lineup with 42 home runs. This team will hit a lot of home runs. They won't do a lot of anything else. Just got to jump on them early, get after it. We are jumping into game 1 here. So let's go ahead and look at it by positions. So Austin Wells for Cal Riley. We're going to take Cal Riley. Josh Naylor, Rafael Devers. We take Raffy. Jazz Chisholm versus Nico. We take Nico. Ryan McMahon and Jace Young being a wash. Kind of agree with that, except I'd probably give it a wash, a true wash. Brooks Lee, Anthony Volpe. I'd give it to Volpe. Jason Dominguez versus... let me switch that lineup over to Lazaro Montes and go back. Definitely Jason Dominguez. Julio versus Trent. Yeah, it's going to be Julio all day, every day. Kyle Tucker versus Spencer Jones. I'm going to go with Kyle Tucker. And then Aaron Judge versus Jock Peterson. I'd say it's closer than they say it is. And then Luis Castillo versus Max Fried. Definitely going to go to Max Fried, but we can only do so much. That is why we play the game. Let us go ahead and go forth into said game. Anthony Volpe with a 2-run home run on a fastball that was almost off of his face. Awesome. Risp. And we had Cal Riley hit another home run. And it looks like potentially... Well, it was Cal Riley and Jock Peterson. So let's just keep rolling. Risp. Another Risp. Anthony Volpe on second base here. I'm just going to go half inning. They scored 2. Looks like... Let's go ahead and look at the game log. Let's see what happened. So Anthony Volpe hits a double, strikeout swinging, fly out. Jazz Chisholm hit a 2-run home run. Yeah, sounds about right. Rafael Devers starts off. Jock Peterson is going to hit a liner into center field. That is going to get down in front of... who's in center field? Trent Grisham. Jeez. I don't know why I couldn't think of Grisham. So 2 on here. No one out for Cal Riley, who already does have 1 homer, but that's going to be a strikeout. Yeah, we saw that coming. Lazaro Montez up, 1-1 count. That is going to be a deep fly ball. Way gone. Way out of here. Off the facade of the second deck. 5-4 lead. Lazaro Montez absolutely crushing the ball. Oh my goodness. And you can hear that team buzzing. Oh, we have them absolutely on their feet here in Seattle. Luis Castillo, I'm going to give him 1 more Risp. Boom, done. He gets through 5. Max Fried, 2 on, no one out for Julio Rodriguez. 1-2 count. Julio puts a grounder to Jazz Chisholm on to second for 1. He only in time for 1. Rafael Devers is up. We're going to run and hit. That is going to be a line drive deep into left field. That is going to be foul. Ooh. We're just going to regularly steal second. 2-2 count. That is going to be a grounder to Max Fried. That is going to be out at second. Wow, okay. And Kenta Maeda is on to pitch to Jock Peterson. 3-2 count here in the bottom of the 5th. Kenta Maeda is not necessarily the guy you want here, and he's off with the races. That gets down and past him on the line. He is at least going to score 1 run. That is going to get in. Oh, my goodness. 6-4 game here. Jock Peterson brings home 1 with a single. Cal Riley is up to bat. 0-0 count. Cal Riley hits a pop-up into shallow right field. Way over his Jazz Chisholm. That is going to drop in for a single. And that is another RBI. It is now 7-4. Lazaro Montez up to bat. 0-2 count. That is going to be a pop-up into center field. Trent Grisham's going to be there. That is going to retire the side. But not before Seattle scores 2 the hard way with a bunch of singles. Not something that this team typically does. Luis Castillo, we're going to get him another Risp. Because why not? Anthony Volpe is on. Aaron Judge, we're going to go after him. 0-2 count. That is a grounder to first base. Rafael Devers snags it on to first base. Luis Castillo covering. That is going to be out number 2 here. 94 pitches here for Josh Naylor. We are going to go ahead and let him have 1 more batter. That is going to be a liner into right field. It is going to be down in front of Kyle Tucker. It's looking like extra bases, and it is going to be extra bases. And that is going to be your final line for Luis Castillo. 6 innings, 5 2/3 innings, 5 runs given up. And we are going to bring in we're going to bring in Matt Strom. And he sets it down. Nico Horner. We're going to bring in Cole Young for Nico Horner. He is going to play second base. 3-2 count here for Cole Young. That is going to be a grounder to Jazz Chisholm on to first base for out number 1. We're going to risp. Ryan McMahon, Austin Wells, Trent Grisham. Yeah, Matt Strom, you're going, brother. Clean inning and risp. Julio Rodriguez gets on second base. Jock Peterson is up to face Kenta Maeda again. He will be walked. Cal Riley is now up to face Kenta Maeda. That is going to be a line drive into left field. That is going to get down, but Julio Rodriguez could not make a good read on the ball. So Lazaro Montez up, bases loaded, 1 out, 2-2 count here. That is going to be swung on into center field. That is going to be deep enough to score at least 1 run. Grisham catches it, but it is now 8-5 here. Caleb Ferguson on to pitch against Cole Young, who now has to hit against a left-handed pitcher. And he is out. In the top of the 8th, we are actually going to go to the bullpen here. We are going to bring in... I think we're going to bring in Felix Bautista. And we're going to see if Felix Bautista can get 2. Felix Bautista's at 23 pitches already. 2 outs here. And we're going to get 1 more batter. That is going to be strike 3. Felix Bautista gives up 2 runs over his 2 innings. Not great, but hey, the game is closed. Not the best that I've seen, but hey, him and Matt Strom does good enough job. And we get to Max Fried, which is awesome. We are now on to face New York. Again, we are facing Logan Gilbert. I think I'm going to take Chase Young out. I'm going to throw Jock Peterson there. I'm going to throw Cal Riley there. Lazaro Montez there. Jeez, we got a lot of lefties. All right. Let's go ahead and do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Logan Gilbert, risp. 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 And Josh Naylor hits a home run. Two on here for Spencer Jones. That is going to be through the right field side. Oh, no. Not what we need. It is now 2-0. I'm going to half inning and pray that... 4. All right, time to start taking pitches. High with a fastball from Luis Heel. High with a fastball from Luis Heel. Coming in at 100 miles an hour, Luis Heel. Strike 1 on a slider. Ooh, all of these could be taken. That is a grounder to first base. That is going to be out number 1 from Josh Naylor. And again, we're just trying to get the pinch count up, try and get into this bullpen as early as possible. Cole Young up here, 1-2 count. That is going to be a pop-up on the infield towards third base. That is going to be caught from out number 2. Jace Young is up here against Luis Heel. Let's hope that he can do a little bit better. Luis Heel currently has a no-hitter going, and that is going to be a grounder to Ryan McMahon. That is going to be out number 3. And through 3, the Seattle Mariners are no hit, and New York has a 4-0 lead. Still 4-0. Luis Heel has 34 pitches through 3. So we really need to jump on him here. Kyle Tucker gets plunked with a pitch, so at least there's no perfect game to speak of. Jock Peterson is up batting second today. That is a ball inside. That is a strike. Should have been a ball, but Jock Peterson is up 0-2, and that is going to be strike out number 2 for Luis Heel. We're going to take a pitch here with Oh, that is a pickoff attempt. But we're trying to get that pitch count up. He's through 4 pitches. That is a ball low. That is a strike. And let's go ahead and swing. 1-2 count. That is a strikeout. Take this first pitch. That is a... You know what? Swing it. 1-2. That is a strikeout. So again, take away the walks, take away the hit by pitches, and Luis Gil has 50 pitches through 4 innings. Rafael Devers works a full count. That is going to be ball, a walk. Lazaro Montes is up. That is ball. Is the 5th inning the one where it gives him problems? Change up low. That looks like a strike. Misses low. You are taking all the way. You are still taking with 3-1 count. You can swing now. 3-2. That is going to be a grounder up the middle. That is going to be out at second base, but not fast enough to get the quick Lazaro Montes. Brooksley is up now. He is at 62 pitches. We got a ball. Looks like a strike. Yep, and we're going to let him swing. 1-2 count. That is going to be a liner into left field. That is going to be back. That is going to be it all the way to the wall, but it is going to be caught for out number 2. That was the best hit ball that we've seen today. Cole Young, come on, bud. That's all I can say. 0-1 count. That is going to be a grounder. Up the middle for a base hit. No hitter is gone. We actually tack on we tack on a hit here in the 5th. First and third here, 2 outs for Jace Young. We are still going to take this first pitch. That is going to be a ball 1. We are going to run and hit. That is going to be inside. That is going to be thrown to second base for the out. On a slider, down and away, in on the hand. Okay, oh well. Logan Gilbert has done his job. He has kept us in the game. We're going to risp. 2 on here for Jock Peterson. 1 swing away from turning this game back into something competitive. That is a line drive into the right center field gap. That is going to get at least 1, maybe 2 in. Jock Peterson for sure has a double, but he is going to be safe on second. And just like that, we have 1 run. We have life. We have runners on second and third. No one out here for Julio Rodriguez. 2-2 count here. That is going to be a strikeout. New pitcher here against Cal Riley is Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. Let's see if Elmer has what it takes to continue this dominant Yankees pitching. And that is going to be strike 3. And I don't know why we're sitting there watching that pitch go by. Rafael Devers here, 2-0 count. That is going to be a pop-up into deep center field, but Trent Grisham should have that no problem. That is going to be out number 3, but at least Seattle has life now. Logan Gilbert is at 78 pitches. We are just going to go ahead and risp again. And he has been clean since that 3rd inning. Let's just go ahead and risp. We're going to have Pablo Lopez come in and pitch these last 2 innings. And this game is over. I messed that up. That one's on me. I was hoping that Pablo Lopez could actually come in and do the dang thing, and I just got impatient. Can't get impatient here. We do have Harry Ford starting in left field for this game just to have an extra righty in the lineup against Brent Hedrick. We're going to go risp. Risp. Oh, we got a half inning it. Half inning. Half inning. All right. Half inning. And half inning. First of the game. 1 hit. Brent Hedrick's only walked 1. Jace Young. Nothing doing on a risp. Bryce Miller. 2 on, 2 outs here for Jazz Chisholm. That is going to be a pop-up into center field. Julio Rodriguez catches that, and it is on an air. All right, Jock Peterson, come on. I need to see something here. That is a pop-up into left field. Spencer Jones is going to be there, or Dominguez, sorry. Jason Dominguez. Spencer Jones isn't right. Let's risp. Risp. And a risp. Nico Hoerner with a leadoff triple. Brooks Lee is up to bat. 3-2 count. That is going to be ball 4. We are going to take a pitch. Take a pitch. Brent Hedrick has decent hold. Austin Wells has decent arm. But still, we are going to run and hit. That is going to be on to second, but not in time. The throw is late. We can get out of a double play. 3-1 count. Kyle Tucker is walked. The bases are loaded for Jace Young. 3-2 count for Jace. That is going to be strikeout. Julio Rodriguez, Ryan Stanek. Let's see what happens. Bases loaded here for Julio. That is going to be a pop-up on the infield. That is not going to get the job done. That is an infield fly rule for Anthony Volpe. Rafael Devers needs to be now. Ryan Stanek pitches, and that is going to be strikeout. 3 outs after bases get loaded, and we fail to score. Let's risp. All right. Jock Peterson. 1-2 count. That is going to be a strikeout by Ryan Stanek. 3-2 count here to Big Dumper. That is going to be a grounder to Jazz Chisholm. That is going to be out number 2. Ryan Stanek has come in and said, I am your guy. I'm going to keep Harry Ford in the game for one more at-bat. That is going to be a pop-up into left field. Easy play for Dominguez. Lots of lefties, so we're having Keegan Akin come in and pitch. And of course, Jazz Chisholm, naturally known as a lefty killer Jazz Chisholm, comes in and hits a homer off of a lefty dominant pitcher. Fernando Cruz versus Nico Hoerner. We are going to let Lazaro Montez come in and get a base hit. 1-2 count here for Lazaro Montez. That is going to be a strikeout. Brooks Lee is up to bat, 0-2. That is going to be a strikeout. Might have been a ball, but called a strike. That absolute... Strike 1 was called a strike. Yikes. 0-2 count. That is going to be a strikeout. All right, Lazaro Montez is going to go into left field. Cole Young is going to come in, and he's going to play second base. Trent Grisham. We're going to bring in Jeremiah Estrada. Jace Young is up to bat. Let's see what Jace Young can do. 3-2 count. That is going to be ball 4. That is 1. We are going to take 1 pitch. Ball way inside. Take another pitch. That is a ball 2. We're going to let you do your thing. 3-1 count here. That is ball 4. 2 runners on now for Rafael Devers. First pitch, jumping on it. Rafael Devers hits a pop-up into right field. That is there for Spencer Jones. Tagging, no advancement. Jock Peterson is now on to face Caleb Ferguson. Do we have anyone? No, we do not. We're going to take the first pitch. Strike 1. Let's go, Jock. That is a strikeout. And Big Dumper here is the last chance. 3-2. Runners are off. That is a line drive deep into center field, but I think Trent Grisham is going to get there. That is over his head. It is absolutely gone. A 3-run home run for Big Dumper, putting a big dump on the day of the New York Yankees. That is a 3-1 lead now for your Seattle Mariners. Could not have happened at a better time. Wow. Righty, lefty. We are going to have Andres Munoz just come in and end this thing. Josh Naylor is up to bat. 2-2 count. That is going to be strikeout. Oh my goodness. All right, Jazz Chisholm is up to the plate. 2-0 count. That is going to be blocked by Cal Riley. 3-2 count, 2 outs, and that is going to be ball 4. Ryan McMahon on the pitch, on the hit. Last batter. Come on. That is a pop-up to third baseman. That is it. 2 hits are all Seattle needs to win 3-1. Kyle Riley, absolutely huge. Bryce Miller pitched crazy. Keegan Akin gave up 1 accidental home run. Jeremiah Estrada came in and shoved. Andres Munoz came in, shoved. Oh my goodness. Could not have happened at a better time. And just because of that, we are now up 2-1. Blowing in from right this time. Okay. We are changing our lineup. Jace Young is not going to be there. It's going to be Cal Riley. Jock Peterson's going to be batting there. Harry Ford. No, I mean, Lazaro Montez has to be playing there. All right. Rafael Devers is really struggling right now. So much so that Rafael Devers is going to bat 7th this game. And Ben Shields is on to pitch for the Yankees versus, I believe, Mitch Keller for us. Haven't even looked. Yep, Mitch Keller. 0-2 count. That is going to be a strikeout for Jace Young. Rafael Devers. 1-1 count for Rafi. That is going to be a pop-up into right field, but we know the wind is blowing in from right today, and that is going to be out number 3. All Mitch needs to do is keep us in this game. If he can keep us close, I have faith. Lots of risk going on. Julio Rodriguez is on second base with a double. Nico Honer is up. That is going to be a grounder to first baseman. Josh Naylor is there. That is going to be it for us in the top of the 4th. It is a pitcher's duel here. I mean, top of the 7th here. What do I need to do different? Mitch Keller is at 71 pitches. I mean, we just risked. And who did it? Rafael Devers breaks out of his slump and hits a homer. We love it. Kyle Tucker, Cal Riley, Thomas Saputsky, a guy that we traded away. 3-2 count. That is going to be ball 4. Sapucky, hey, there's a World Series ring if you let us have this one. Grounder to Anthony Volpe on to second for the 3rd out. After 7.5 innings, let's bring in AJ Minter for this 8th inning. Austin Wells is it. 2-0 count. That is going to be a deep pop-up. That's gone. I mean, of course, you bring in a lefty specialist. You expect a lefty specialist. And all we hear is the... All right. We bring in... Oh, we lose our thing. And we bring in... we bring in Cade Holton. And Cade Holton just takes care of the rest of the game. So let's half inning. Yeah. 5-star catch, a 5-star catch in a game, cool. Don't really care. The game is now... We're going to just have him rehab assignment to minors. Do I have to activate him? No, I don't have to activate him. But I should activate him. And I think I just send Cole Young down, right? Or do I send Lazaro Montez down? Because he hasn't been. You know what? We're going to remove him. Oh, never mind. Can't do it anyways. We have Luis Castillo going for us. We're going to start Lazaro Montez, who's doing all right. And I have Nico Hoerner actually bat second. We're going to have Cal Riley bat third, Julio Rodriguez fourth. Or Julio Rodriguez fifth, Jock Peterson fourth. Let's do it. Try something different. And Risp. Jock Peterson and Julio get it done. All right, Rafi. Walk. Bases loaded. Bases loaded here in the top of the second for Lazaro Montez. Lazaro, this is your chance to stay on the roster. That is a grounder through the first baseman's glove. That is going to be past him. That is going to score at least 2. Runners on second and third. No one out here. Lazaro Montez absolutely coming in clutch. 2 runs on 2 hits so far. Let's see if Jace Young can get it done. Honestly, I want to squeeze so bad. He can't bunt. Great. He can't bunt. Pop up in a shallow center. Probably not going to be deep enough to score, but we're going. That is going to score. Sack fly does the job. We scored 3. We're going to squeeze. All right. No more squeeze attempt. Needed to get it down the first time. That is going to be a pop-up into center field. That is going to get caught. And the run is going to score. We score 4 here in the top of the second inning. Wow. Huge. Now, Luis, all you have to do is coast. All you have to do is coast. 6-2. Risp. Perfect. Risp. 7. Awesome. Risp. Luis Castillo, 90. Bottom of the 7th, we are going to bring in Matt Brash. No, we're going to bring in Strum. Boom. Done. Risp. Bottom of the 8th. We're bringing in Mason Miller. Perfect. Sure, let's score 1 more. Never mind. Felix Bautista coming in to close out this game. Risp. All right, Felix Bautista, you are done. Keegan Akin is coming in to face Josh Naylor. Risp. Done. Whew, got a little scary there. But huge win. Luis Castillo goes 6 innings. Matt Strom comes in for a scoreless 7th. Mason Miller comes in for a scoreless 8th. Felix Bautista lets 3 runs score, I think, on a couple home runs. Let's look. Home run. Felix Bautista. And, yeah, gave up 2 home runs. Jeez, that's not what we need. All right. What we actually are going to do real quick, though, is it is going to go down to a 3-man rotation and then a 2-man rotation. Because Mitch Keller and Luis Castillo will be used if necessary today and tomorrow. Logan Gilbert is going to do the darn thing for us, though. Cole Young is going to play today. Yeah, Cole Young is going to play today. Let's do it. Pitcher is getting shelled. Gives up 4 in the top of the first. We're going to half inning again. Why not? Brother, we scored 3. Hey, we're coming back. You're on a pitch count, brother. Like, Pablo Lopez is going to come in here in the 5th. Give me a second. Need that larger. That's going to go there. We call that an oopsie daisy. Yes, I want to sit down Matt Brash. And I want to move there. Okay, perfect. Logan Gilbert. Anthony Volpe and Aaron Judge. We are going to bring in Matt Brash. Yep, Matt Brash is coming in. And we're going to half inning it. Yeah. Sounds about right. And let's bring in Pablo Lopez. Half inning. Half inning. Half inning. Yep. Pablo Lopez is done now as well. AJ Minter. Half inning. At bat. Not a good showing for us today. I'm going to go half inning, and then Cade Horton is coming in. And that is not a good game at all. But we get to play one more game. All right. Ben Shields is pitching. Cal Riley is coming in to be the third hitter. Jock Peterson for Nico. Just no one has done good. Julio's 5. I mean, Rafael Devers has turned it around. Let's let Brooks Lee go. Might as well. Lazaro Montez is going to bat 7th. And let's just pray that we're able to make it happen. Clean first. Kyle Tucker leads off the game in style. Kyle Riley hits another one. Back-to-back jacks. And we score 3. Just keep it clean. All we have to do is keep it clean. 2 more. Kyle Tucker with his 2nd home run today. Oh my goodness. Jock Peterson with a homer. We have scored 6 runs through 4 innings. Bryce Miller's at 68 pitches. We're going to risp one more time. Perfect. He's through 5. Kyle Tucker hits another one. Because why not? 3 home runs on the day for Kyle Tucker. Oh my goodness. And you know what we're going to do? We aren't going to chance it. Why does it keep running away from me? 6th inning. We are bringing in Jeremiah Estrada. Of course, Matt Strom coming in. They score 5 in the top of the 6th, at minimum right now. Okay, Julio is on second base with the double to start. That is going to be out number 1, Lazaro Montez. Max Fried is in the game. Three-one count to Lazaro Montez. I'm making an executive decision. Jace Young is coming in. And he is, or not Jace Young. Jace Young is coming out of the game. Harry Ford is getting at bat. 3-2 count here for Ford. And he gets walked. Nico Horner. 1-1. That is going to be a line drive at the first baseman. Kyle Tucker here. 1-1 count here to Tucker with the bases loaded. That is going to be a grounder up the middle. That is going to be caught by Volpe, and that is going to be out number 3. Thought we could have had a little bit more insurance, but we cannot. Harry Ford, what positions can you play? You can play left, first, or catcher. You know what? We're going to bring in who can play third base. Nico, can you play third? No, you can't. Cole, can you play third? Yes, you can, and you can play it well. Oh, Rafael Devers can also play third, but we are bringing in Mason Miller. Gets through a clean 7th. Let's just go half inning. All right. Felix Batista, don't let me down. Lead off hit for Josh Chisholm. 3-2 count here. That is going to be a bunt to the pitcher. That is going to be out number 1. Austin Wells is up to bat. 3-1 count. Infield is in. That is going to be ball 4. Trent Grisham is up to bat. We're going to go 2-2. That is going to be a strikeout. Jason Dominguez up to bat. 1-2 count. That is going to be swung through for strike 3. Absolutely huge for us. And we're going to just half inning it. We're up. Andreas Munoz. We're going to risp. We're going to risp. 2 on, 2 out here for Ryan McMahon. All right. Telling you now, if Trent Grisham gets up this inning, we're going to the bullpen. 2-1 count here to Ryan McMahon. That is going to be a pop-up on the infield. Brooks Lee is there, and your Seattle Mariners are going to the World Series. Huge for us. We win it. What was it? Game 6? Game 7? Took us to game 7. But hey, we finally made it. I don't know who we're going up against, but we needed that game. And I think we are going to pull AJ Minter. We're going to pull a pitcher. Let's go back to our 4-man rotation. Luis Castillo. Boom. Done. And can I split postseason? Yeah, who's been doing bad? I am going to pull transaction. We're going to remove from playoff roster. And we're going to call in Masataka Yoshida. He is going to come in, and he is going to play left field. He's going to bat second. So Masataka Yoshida is going to come in. He's going to play second. And I think I would rather have Cole Young at third base over Jace Young. Or actually, no, can't do Harry Ford. Brooks Lee is struggling at shortstop, but just all you got to do is play your position, brother. Cal Riley is moving up to 3-hole. Julio's 4, Jock is 5. But that's just a lot of lefties in a row, so I'm going to throw Brooksley there in the middle. And we will be playing the Cincinnati Reds for the World Series. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, and thank you for watching.